the Atacama Desert. The driest place on Earth, where no rain has fallen for decades. Here, amidst endless sand and salt flats, in February 2024, a discovery shocked the world. A U.S. reconnaissance satellite was conducting a routine survey of the Chile-Bolivia border when its AI algorithm detected an anomaly. 3 days earlier, a severe sandstorm had swept the area, revealing a metallic object buried under meters of sand. Photographer Jason Turner initially mistook it for aircraft wreckage, common in these parts. But when analysts at the CIA zoomed in, their faces turned pale. A submarine's periscope was clearly visible. "Impossible," whispered Mark Stevens, head of analysis and a former submariner. "The nearest ocean is 400 kilometers away." Within an hour, the U.S. Naval Archives delivered a chilling reply. The periscope design matched the Permit-class submarines operational in the 1960s. 72 hours later, an international expedition arrived, led by Dr. David Mitchell, a naval archaeologist whose father mysteriously died aboard a sub in 1969. The team included Jack Hansen, an ex-Navy nuclear engineer who had worked on the K-19 cleanup, Carla Ramos, a Chilean biologist specializing in Andean wildlife, Hiroshi Tanaka, a Japanese radiation specialist who had responded to Fukushima, and 12 other specialists. From the beginning, strange phenomena surrounded the site. Electronics failed within 5 kilometers. Compasses spun wildly as if caught in a magnetic storm. GPS displayed coordinates in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Radiation levels spiked unpredictably. Local guide Juan Castillo refused to approach closer than 1 kilometer. "This is a cursed place," he said. "My grandfather told me an iron whale fell from the sky here one night." The most unusual behavior came from the local llamas. Normally skittish around humans, dozens gathered around the excavation site, forming a near-perfect circle about 100 meters from the periscope. They showed no fear, only intense observation, their heads turning in unison as if controlled by a single mind. "In 20 years working in the Andes, I've never seen anything like this," Ramos wrote in her notebook. "They act as if they're guarding this place. Or waiting for something. Strangest of all, there are no young, only adults over 5 years old." After a week of grueling excavation in 45 degrees Celsius heat, the team uncovered the upper hull. The metal bore strange spiral corrosion patterns, as if exposed to an unknown form of energy. The markings were clear: USS Triton, SSN 601. Mitchell held his breath. This Permit-class nuclear submarine had been missing since March 15, 1968. Officially, it had sunk in the Atlantic during a secret mission to intercept a Soviet sub. No wreckage or the bodies of its 112 crew members had ever been found. Entering through the torpedo room was like stepping through time. The first compartment greeted them with eerie silence and a temperature of around 15 degrees Celsius. Impossibly cool for a metal box left in the desert sun for decades. Everything remained perfectly preserved, as if the crew had just left. Navigation tables held Atlantic charts with plotted courses. Officer quarters had cups of dried coffee on desks. The captain's cabin displayed a calendar frozen on March 15, 1968. Nearby lay an open copy of Moby Dick with a photo of a woman and young boy tucked inside. The answers lay in Captain Robert Anderson's logbook, found in the bridge safe alongside classified documents labeled Top Secret/Operation Sandstar. The first entries described a routine mission, recovering a Soviet space capsule carrying experimental equipment that had crashed in international waters. On board was a special science advisor from the NSA, Dr. William Hoffman, a theoretical physicist involved in the Philadelphia experiment project. Then, on March 14, everything changed. 2340, object detected at 300 meters. Water temperature abnormally high, up 18 degrees instead of the usual 4. Sonar shows strange luminescence around it. Dr. Hoffman is excited, says it matches the Compass 7 prototype. When the manipulator touched the hull, a device inside activated. A blinding blue flash lit the water. All bridge systems failed immediately. The next entry stunned researchers, March 15, 7:15. Merciful God. We're on the surface, but it's desert. Nothing but sand and mountains as far as the eye can see. Outside temp, 42 degrees Celsius. Depth gauge shows negative 800 meters, as if we're floating in midair. GPS places us in South America when it works. Crew near panic. Seaman Jenkins claims he saw fish swimming past his porthole. Dr. Hoffman's inserted report explained, Compass 7 wasn't a navigation device, it was a spacetime anomaly generator. Its activation created a discontinuity that displaced our mass through curved space. Destination coordinates appear random. We've been thrown into the worst possible place on Earth. The subsequent logs chronicled a desperate fight for survival. Without seawater, the S-5W nuclear reactor's cooling system failed catastrophically. Temperatures soared toward meltdown levels. On March 17, Chief Engineer Thompson and his team began rigging an emergency cooling system using freshwater reserves, a stopgap measure that would last 5 days at most. Then the llamas intervened. At dawn on March 18, sentries reported 30 camelid creatures approaching in formation. The largest female began scraping at sand 200 meters from the sub, revealing damp earth beneath. Crews dug frantically, discovering an underground aquifer. Over the following weeks, the llamas brought white clay to seal pipe joints, led sailors to sheltering caves during sandstorms, and even provided medicinal plants to treat radiation sickness. April 12, day 29. Reactor stabilized, but fuel won't last. Made the call, initiating emergency shutdown. O'Brien joked we'll be the world's first sailing submarine. Laughter keeps men alive. By June, only 37 crew remained. The final log entry read, strength failing. Third day without water. At dawn, the llamas gathered beside the hull in a semicircle. Their queen pressed her muzzle into my hand. In her brown eyes I saw farewell, and a promise. Hoffman's last words, they know. This wasn't an accident. We were meant to be here. I leave this log hoping someone finds us. If you meet the llamas, bow to them. They're more than animals. They're the guardians. Captain Robert Anderson, USN. Modern examinations revealed more mysteries. The Soviet Compass 7 device contained equations predicting 1990 string theory. Subwalls bore advanced nuclear diagrams number 1960 sailor could know. Like someone was dictating them, one mechanic's note said. Llama DNA contained uncrackable code-like sequences. Declassified files exposed Project Keystone, a secret US-USSR effort to manipulate spacetime hidden behind Cold War tensions. Today the Triton rests as a memorial. Every March 15th, llamas return, standing silent for exactly 47 minutes, the time they gave the crew each day. The lead llama, bearing a spiral mark like ancient cave paintings, touches the monument before leading the herd away. We came for a submarine, Mitchell wrote. We found a bridge between worlds, built not with steel but with compassion.